What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday and happy Thanksgiving, since we won't have a slate tomorrow. And welcome to the first edition of the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Injury Report. On this video every day, we'll break down the slate, who's in, who's out, who's probable, questionable, doubtful, and everything in between. So let's get started. At the point guard position, we have LaMelo Ball. He has already rolled out with an aggravated ankle. He'll miss his third straight game on Wednesday. Next, we have Tyler Hero, currently listed as questionable by the Miami Heat. He also has an ankle injury. He has missed 8 straight games, hasn't played since November 4th, so if he does return, expect some type of minutes restriction. Jamal Murray has recently been added to the injury report due to conditioning. He has yet to play a back-to-back this year. Bones Highland of the Denver Nuggets already ruled out after leaving Tuesday's game with an illness. He played just 9 minutes in that game. Mike Conley of the Utah Jazz is out. He is day-to-day per Mike Conley after getting x-rays on his leg injury Tuesday. And finally, at the point guard position, Monty Morris of the Washington Wizards. He is listed as questionable. He was a partial participant of this morning's shoot-around with an ankle injury. He did not play on Sunday, so keep that in the back of your mind. Moving over to shooting guard, Paul George of the Los Angeles Clippers is going to miss his second straight game, technically 2.5 after leaving at halftime of the Spurs game over this past weekend. Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards, just like Monty Morris earlier, he is also questionable. He also participated in a partial fashion of Wednesday's shoot-around with a quad injury. Spencer Dinwiddie of the Dallas Mavericks is expected to play, so he is listed probable. He has a dislocated shoulder from this past weekend, so definitely something to monitor. It'll be Luka's season in full effect if Dinwiddie cannot go. Karis LeVert of the Cleveland Cavaliers will miss his second straight game with an ankle injury. There's swelling there, so maybe he can get it in check after this Thanksgiving Day break. And finally, at shooting guard, Seth Curry, another guy who hasn't played back-to-backs, another guy dealing with a serious injury as of last year. He is out. Injury management is what Brooklyn Nets have listed. Heading over to small forward, probably the most notable news of the slate is Jayson Tatum, listed questionable for the Boston Celtics. He has a minor ankle sprain, one that could keep him out for the first time this year. Tatum has played in every game amidst his potential MVP campaign. Scotty Barnes of the Toronto Raptors, coming off his best game of the year, he is listed questionable. At some point during that game, it was suggested he had a knee sprain. He did not practice on Tuesday, for what that's worth. That is not a good trend heading into a game the next day, especially when they have Thursday off and it could really get that knee healed. Michael Porter Jr., a recent addition to the injury report for Denver. He is questionable. Again, it is a back-to-back for Denver. He has a heel injury. Thankfully, it's not a back, because we know Michael Porter Jr. has had plenty of back issues throughout his time in college and short time in the NBA. Sadiq Bey of the Detroit Pistons is out with an ankle sprain. He'll miss this game as well as the next game. Trey Murphy for the New Orleans Pelicans is listed as doubtful. This will be his second consecutive miss. At power forward, Jimmy Butler will miss his fourth straight game for the Miami Heat on Wednesday night. Kevin Love, who returned from a fractured thumb, 1-game absence to play 11 meaningless minutes, will not play on Wednesday. They'll give him a few extra days of rest there with a broken thumb. Alexei Pokusevski just came across the wire. He was out. He has now been upgraded to questionable. If he does play, it would only be a 1-game absence. If he doesn't, it will be his second straight miss. So definitely something to consider. We've seen the Thunder upgrade people all year long. We saw it with Josh Giddey earlier this season. We saw it with a couple of guys. Trey Mann, who was listed out, then played the other day. So it's something to monitor when the Thunder rule someone out and then get upgraded. It's been a trend that they do end up playing. And then Isaiah Jackson, not the most notable name of the slate. He is the backup center in Indiana. But if no Isaiah Jackson, currently listed questionable with an ankle, if he doesn't play, maybe some extra minutes head Miles Turner's way. And finally, at the center position, Nikola Jokic, a new member of the injury report. He is listed as questionable for conditioning. He was upgraded on Tuesday after being in health and safety protocols due to a COVID positive test. But now the Denver Nuggets are listing questionable status on Jokic due to that conditioning. We don't know if he can get through this game in one piece. Bam Adebayo is probable. He played last game, looked very good. One of the only Heat people that might be healthy enough to go. And then Jakob Poeltl rounds out our list at center of the San Antonio Spurs. He's listed questionable. He sat out last game. We saw Gorgie Jang. For whatever reason, Greg Popovich decided to start him in Jakob Poeltl's place. So that will do it for Wednesday's debut of the NBA DFS injury report. Anything that breaks from any of these players, anything new, we will list in the paragraph below this video on fantasyalarm.com. Anything, and that will be continuing throughout the year, Monday through Friday, as long as there's no holiday, for this video and for the updates on the injury report. So you can check out everything you need to do your research for NBA DFS at fantasyalarm.com and check out this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys on Friday.